Whew. Hello again. Welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. Glad to see everybody today. So glad you are joining me right now. So we're just going to jump into this. Last week I was reading Gambling for the Duke's Daughter, and it's getting good. It's getting good. I'm trying to figure out, which way, that whole story is going to go. But we'll find out soon enough. Okay, so right now we are reading Unnappily in Love. So that's what we're reading right now. And I'm getting a quarter. I think I already got like a quarter of a ways in there already. So I'm just gonna talk to you a little bit about it and what I have been, reading. But first I'm gonna pour a cup of tea of my orange spice. And I did find the true, oh my God, what brand was that? The True Berry tea. So I'm gonna order it next week. Can't wait to get a whole box, and I don't have to worry about it coming in a variety pack anymore. So that's got Celestial. It's Celestial True Berry. So I can't wait for that. Okay, so Unnappily in Love is it's getting better. When I was reading it, it just seems like Jake and Tommy and Eric are Eric and Jake are two people that Venus has to deal with. And Tommy is a person that Serena has to deal with. Now, when it comes to Jake and Tommy, it just seems like Serena, I guess, was trying to make, or Serena had a relationship with Jake, and but this was before Serena got married with hooked up with Jake. I mean, Venus hooked up with Jake, so that of course they have a past, and Tommy ended up coming back into the picture later after Venus and Jake had gotten married. So I'll tell you what happens after that in a minute. So we ended up going to the recital. So Maya had her recital, and she was wondering, well, not Maya, but Venus was wondering if Jake was going to make it, because he was supposed to be flying in to see her do her her skit. And although Maya was there, Jory, the governor, Jory's dad was there, Miriam was there because she had a little girl, and the governor had a little boy named Jory, who were all in the recital. Paulette, Venus's mother, was there, and she was trying to before they ended up leaving, they ended up watching TMC, and she was trying to show Venus, oh, you have to see this, and she's like, no, we don't have time for that, we have to go, it's getting late, blah blah blah. She goes, it's going to take a few minutes, you have to see this, look. So she ends up showing Venus that Jake was at a hotel, because that's where they had their movie star Hollywood parties, and he ended up punching Tommy, Serena's ex-boyfriend. So that was shown all over TMC, and she goes, look, I'm telling you, and she's trying to let her daughter know, Serena is on the hunt for your man. She wants to take away your man. And she's like, no, Venus is not, there's nothing she can do, he's mine, and it's not going to happen. The back of her head is like, no, it can never happen. But little does she know that, yes, that's exactly what Serena is trying to do. She's trying to, reel Jake back into her life. So when they finally went to the recital, Eric ended up showing up, even though, Venus was like, no, you only get one ticket and that's it, because he wanted to bring his wife and so forth, and a baby on top of that. And she was like, no, you're only getting one ticket and that's it. Bottom line. But anyway, he ended up showing up at the recital, and he did end up at the recital with his wife and the baby. And after everything was said and done, and she got upset. Venus got upset because she kept on looking, behind her head to see if Jake was, coming in, if he had flew in, because he said he wasn't going to miss his daughter's, recital. So she got mad because she missed almost the whole thing, because she kept looking over her shoulder to see if Jake was coming in. So they finally, when it was all done, Eric ended up, everybody applauded. It was great. You guys were great. Jory, Miriam's daughter, Maya, and then Eric ended up giving some flowers to to Maya, and telling her how great she was. And she goes, oh, thank you. And he goes, oh, thank you, Daddy. And she looked at him like, uh-huh. And so Venus was like, oh, let's just go. It's getting late. And then Maya turns around to her mom and says, where's Daddy? And she goes, oh, she's sorry. He didn't make it, but next time he will. So she's trying to console her. Not that she was unhappy or anything like that. It's just that, she was expecting to see her dad. So anyway, they had that fight that was in the hotel. They had left already, and they were trying to get on the next plane out that same night. And Serena was sitting next to Jake on the plane. So she was trying to rekindle or revive, saying like, I know he still cares about me, and he would have gotten up so upset when he saw Jake at the hotel, and that he was there and he tried to punch him out. He had to have known that, or she had to have known that he still had feelings for her, but he doesn't want, and he kind of gave her like a flicker of, no, it's just not that, it's just that you cheated on me with him. So that kind of like ended everything with Serena and Jake. But on the airplane, when they were sitting next to each other, she tried to, kind of like, okay, it's great that we're alone together. Can we talk? And he had his earbuds or something on. He wasn't really listening to her. And he goes, I know you still care for me. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done what you did. And he's like, what? Huh? And he's like, no. He's like, everything that she was saying was going in one ear and out the other. So she really wasn't really like paying attention to him. I mean, he wasn't really paying attention to her. And she kind of felt like, I'll play that person that I can't be anything without him, that I need him in my life, and I'll do anything I can to get him back in my life. She'll play that role. So that's where we're at with this book right now. Serena's still trying to reel, in Jake. Venus still seems to be oblivious to thinking that Serena's trying to take Jake away from her. And even though her mom is trying to let her know, yes, she is. And then we still have this thing about Christopher. We still don't know who this little boy belongs to. Is it Tommy's boy, Serena's so-called son, although she hasn't said it's her son, or is it Jake's? So now we have that to worry about. So that's where we are right now. So right now they're finally flying home, and that's where I left that. Serena still trying to reel Jake in, although Jake is like, doesn't really want anything to do with her no more. It's like, what was in the past is in the past, and that's it. Whatever he done at the hotel was just because he just remembered what happened and it pissed him off. But that was the reason why they had that fight. So that's where we are in Unhappily in Love. So it is. It's like it's like a love triangle. Okay, so let me take a sip of this tea before it gets hold on to me. I always try to drink the tea at the last minute. So I always try to make the tea at the last minute. So when it comes here, it's hot. It's already cooling down. Okay, so then I was reading a little something in Emily Post. And I said, just let me read this real cute because it was kind of cute that here I am doing a Tea Time Tuesday. And I came across this. So let me show you this. So it says, iced tea and iced coffee. If iced tea or coffee has been served in a glass with a saucer under it, the spoon used to stir the drink is placed in this saucer. But when there is no saucer, the problem arises as to what to do with the spoon. If paper napkins are available, put one on the table next to your glass and then put the spoon on the napkin. If no paper napkins are available, the spoon should be placed with the bowl upside down on the edge of your butter plate or dinner plate if necessary. A used piece of silver should not be put on the table, especially when there is a tablecloth. Some people like to leave the spoon in the glass or hold it back with a finger when they drink, but I find this awkward and unattractive. Okay, so there's your tip of the day from Emily Post. Okay, so then I came across a nice little poem, guys. I thought this was really cute. Especially because I do a lot of morning devotionals. So let me read this to you. So I do want to get into poetry. I do want to read a little bit of, poems. So here it goes. It says, when I needed compassion, you warmed my spirit without judgment. When I needed grace, you were a spring of forgiveness. When I needed encouragement, you reminded me of times that I blossomed. When I was about to fall, you lifted me to my feet and reminded me that true friends grow tall together. You are a friend for a lifetime. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? And I don't know what it is, but that's how I feel about Jesus. He's my friend for a lifetime. And everything. And it was just so cute because it goes exactly with everything that I'm doing right now. It's like sometimes I feel like I'm at that point where I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing things right? Is this even going to work out? I feel like, I'm not getting nowhere and I should just throw in the towel, But ever since I've been doing this and trying to get my heart closer to Jesus, I'm like, okay, I guess this is working out. I feel a lot more happier. I feel like I have a lot of room, a lot more time on my hands. Things are getting done. And so I'm just going to continue on this path, on this road, and on this journey because I like it. I'm enjoying it every day. So that's where we are today. So if you want to continue hearing about my updates on my stories that I'm reading and little tips here and there about Emily Post and of course some poems, I get them off of Pinterest. I do want to go to back to the thrift store and see if I can find a book on poems. I do watch My Little Poet every Saturday, and she's always reading poetry. So I'm like, you know what, that's such a cute idea. I do miss making the sandwiches and everything, but that does take a lot of time. So I said, you know what, I think I'll just continue to just drink my tea and just, read little tips for you and read some poems. So again, like a fish in the sea, so glad you caught me, and we will see you next time on Tea Time Tuesday. We'll see you in a bit.